guys, what's up? I'm so sorry I can't be on the call tonight. I am currently in the airplane. I'm on my way from Atlanta to Oklahoma City as you're watching this, but right now I'm here in beautiful Nassau in the Bahamas at the Baha Mar. It's been an incredible trip. Every Primerica trip is awesome. This one's extra awesome. Our second time here. So I just want to encourage you guys, man, just think bigger. There's so much opportunity we have. The company's in such an amazing place, but we're also just getting started. There were some phenomenal field speakers. You can see that stuff on POL. Some of the speakers just kind of stretch you to think bigger and to do more. The best part, though, I think, is getting a chance to also meet some of the other leaders, and it kind of humanizes who they are. You know, there's a saying sometimes that like, oh, don't meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. In Primerica, it's not the case. It's you meet your heroes, and it's even more encouraging because it's like, this guy's an incredible human being. This girl's just an awesome one person, but they're also human and they're kind of goofy. And you know what? I could be like that. So we went on a sailing excursion with Horizon, one of our managed account partners, and on that trip was Howard Lashner was with us. And Howard, he specifically was kind of just a dude, right? The guy makes, $2.5 million a year. And I asked him, he has 3 personal assistants. And one of them he works with just focuses on his existing clients. One of them focuses on his orphaned clients that have rolled up to him. So he's had, RVPs that have passed away and people that have just left the business, and all their clients have to be managed. Then he has a third assistant that all they do is make outbound phone calls. So I got a chance to hear that. And those outbound phone calls are just 90-day client follow-up calls, leaving messages. That's one person's full-time job. He said the other 2 people were getting too busy with all the business that was coming in, and they couldn't handle that. So I'm going to continue to walk. I'm walking in a big circle right now, but I'm about to show. I'm walking up those escalators and across that bridge. You see there's a couple towers here. Over there is Baja Bay. You'll get a chance to see that here in a second. But that was a huge takeaway, just like kind of the system you can build in Primerica and make, $200,000 a month and still have incredible time freedom and take care of clients. And you know what? He was sitting on the boat with me and Todd Basler. We're talking to him. He's just a normal guy. He was kind of falling on the boat like we were. And he ate a barbecue sandwich, and I'm pretty sure he got barbecue sauce on his shirt just like I did. And so it was just, again, kind of a fun experience. He didn't snorkel. Todd and I snorkeled together, which was really cool. But Howard bowed out. I think he's getting too old for that. So that was one just kind of really cool conversation I want to share with you. A second great conversation, I met this guy named Ted. Ted and I are about the same age, been in the business about the same period of time. But Ted specifically, he, about 3 years ago, he was talking to Mario Arizon. And at that time, Ted was making 200. And he talked to Mario, and what he said to Mario was, I'm kind of frustrated. I'm making 200,000 a year right now on my own. And Mario stopped him. He's like, first of all, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I don't know. Besides getting a bunch of people recruited, I don't know how it would do. I don't even know where I would begin to do that. So first of all, like that's awesome that you're able to do that. So I think that's kind of spoke to me that, we might be in the process of building our teams bigger, but the same token, we have the ability and the knowledge and skill set to make a 6-figure income on our own and teach other people how to do that as well while we're building a team. But Ted specifically, this guy I'm talking about from New Jersey, he was the number 1 person in investments in the state every month, and his team had no idea because all he was focused on was recruiting and developing people and getting new people rolling. At the end of the year, there was an awards gala they did because he did over $12 million in value. Put that in perspective. I had a decent year last year. I did $8 million, and he did $12 million. And so, but his team again had no idea what that looks like. So I'm going to pause right here. This is a great view for you guys to see. So, bad lighting apparently. Let's try the other side. So Ted, right? He just focused on double-digit recruiting, and he took his income from 200,000 to 350 on his way to 500,000. Promoted RVP. Last month they did 60 recruits, 40,000 in premium. Premiums coming as they're continuing to grow. and it's a lot of younger people, and all the recruiting is on social media. So like there's a lesson there that if you're going to get recruiting going, it just makes sense to do it in the younger generation and using social media to help us do that, which we'll lean into that a little bit more and found out harder, but that was kind of a big takeaway. That's what a lot of people in the company are doing, is they have new people coming into the business, and they still have an office, they're still getting together, but they're not making phone calls. They're DMing people on social media. That's just the reality of the situation. So I thought that was kind of just a huge realization. A lot of people are doing appointments on Zoom, and I think that kind of matters. I've asked a lot of people, like, are you virtual? Are you hybrid? And a lot of people are doing their appointments on Zoom, but that's also because traffic in some areas is crazy. It's hard to drive around and do 2 appointments in Chicago and 1 night if you wanted to. Right, so, but if you talk to somebody in Iowa, they only meet in person primarily, or their client follow-ups are in Zoom. So I think the answer there is just based on your preference. But there is still a need for in-person trainings. But I like the flexibility of us doing Zoom. It's like once a month is kind of the rhythm we're in now, but that may change. And as we get more spread out, there's the ability to do that too. So another thing that I picked up on from this guy, Ted, in our conversation was using the orientation as an entry point. You know, we have the Jeff Seagraves, which, by the way, I've seen him here many times. We have the Jeff Seagraves orientation that's available on YouTube and also on the Primerica app, and we have it on the website as well. And what he does is they have their new people, brand new people, hey, watch this first, and then after you watch this, let's talk. And if they don't watch that, they don't even work with them. That's kind of like it's like they've already filled out their IBA, but that lets us know, are you serious? And if they're not going to take the time to watch the orientation, then we're not going to invest a bunch of time with you. It's like, okay, we'll see it training and then see if they show up. And having that mindset of valuing your time and working with people who want to be worked with, not just people who are, there. So that was a really, really great conversation. And I'll give you the third one I had was last night. I was tossing the football. There's this big patch of green grass. I'll walk out there right now while I'm talking to you. If I can get across to that side of the resort, I gotta walk through the casino. There's actually 4 hotels in this resort. The Grand Hyatt, the Rosewood, SLS, and there's different towers. So we'll walk through the casino right now. But specifically, we were outside yesterday getting ready to go to dinner. There's some amazing restaurants here for sure. But one of the places we went to, or waiting to go to the sugar factory, we got a chance. My son Jensen and Jax were outside with me. We brought a football, so I'm throwing passes to Jax. He had a blast. Jensen was kind of in his own world, and he started playing with this other kid who was like 2 years old, probably one or two, and he just had a little ball, and Jensen was being so sweet with him. And turns out that kid was he was a 3rd-generation Bohannon. His dad was Matt Bohannon, who's an RVP in Iowa, and his dad is Gordy Bohannon, who's $1 million earner in Iowa, and they were all talking. And so when my son was playing with him, I got a chance to spend some time talking to Matt and kind of just lean in more on their business and kind of what they're doing, because and I said, how did it work out? Did your dad specifically recruit you into the business, or was it just a conversation you guys had? How did that go? And he said, no, I never really, I always knew they did well. Their example was great. And he's like, I got my accounting degree and I got a taste of corporate America and realized I just want to make a lot of income. And I wanted to get a chance to not only have a lot of income, but a lot of freedom. And my brother Jason was already in the business and making $300,000, had a lot of freedom. And so he was making triple what I was making as an accountant. And so it's pretty obvious at that point. And so, but then it was also just a testament. He's like, my dad's been doing this for 40 years. And so just the long game, you are going to get financially independent here. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take you. And you can take it, and if you just stick it out and don't quit, it's going to happen for you. So this is the casino floor I'm walking on right now. But out here is the area where we were playing football at. And they have like a water show, like the Bellagio. So let me back up real quick. So that was the conversation with Matt. It's just, hey, long term, we all have the ability to get wealthy, and just put in the time. And they're primarily 100% focused on managed accounts. That's the whole approach. And they're all making big 6-figure incomes. And he's like, that's just the direction the industry is going to go, is managed accounts. I had some other really good conversations about managed accounts in general. with some other leaders, and there's big improvements coming down the pipe in August. A lot of the people that know what's coming can't tell me because they've signed NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. So I got lost in the resort somehow. I have no idea. There's so many pools in this place, but take a look at what's going on. Am I breathing heavy right now? Let's go this way. All right, so here's kind of takeaway. Let me back up a little bit and just let you guys know kind of what to expect. When you get a chance to win a Primerica trip, it stretches your vision so much, and it stretches your belief in so many ways. First of all, just how they treat you. So here's kind of a quick preview. Whenever you get invited to the trip, like you won, the first thing they do is you book your flight. They send you a link, it's like an Expedia link, and you choose your flight. And then Primerica pays for the flight for you and your plus one, your partner, your teammate, your mom, your dad, whoever you want to take. I've taken my wife, of course, most times. I've taken a teammate before. I took my dad one time. So whoever you want to take, Primerica will pay for as long as they're 18. They'll fly with you. They can come to the meetings, and that's what it is. And then what happens, you get a packet in the mail. And that packet, they give you, it's all the little things, the little details. They give you luggage tags. Here's what the luggage tags look like. So it says Baha Mar, whatever the event is. And of course, you can write your name on it. But you get several, I just picked up some extras from the hospitality desk. So you get several luggage tags from the company. And then there's all the agendas there, the notes, everything, right? And then you get to the airport, and once you land in the destination city that you're in, there's signs everywhere that says Primerica. They put you on the shuttle, they take you to the hotel, and then they take your bags. Baggage claim brings them up. Primerica pays for all the tips. They pay for all the baggage fees. They pay for everything that it takes to get your luggage to your room, so you don't have to tip the bellboys or anything. And then that night there's a big welcome reception, which is like the coolest party you've ever seen. Live music, lights, incredible food. I remember my very first company trip, I had lobster stuffed mashed potatoes. Didn't know that existed, but that's what I had. And so that's kind of the type of fresh meats, fruits, just whatever is kind of local to that facility is what you're going to get a chance to experience. And so that was definitely kind of eye-opening for me, just what's available. So that's kind of opening night. And then there's 2 general sessions. They're both in the morning. So we had one on Tuesday morning and one on Wednesday morning. And they open the doors at 7. And then breakfast really starts like 8:30. But the first, 7:30, 8:30, you sit down. And then as soon as you sit down, they bring you coffee. They bring you your made-to-order breakfast, basically. And everything's there. These are some cool shops. This is where we're coming here later today before we leave. My kids, I'll walk you over here. There's an aquarium under that rock over there. You can see through there. I'll walk around and give you a better view. They want to jump off the rock before we leave today. And there's no pier in the ocean. So I'll walk that way here in a second. But yeah, so the general session goes down. And so you're sitting at a table with like 8 people, and you all get a chance to just, hey, where are you from? How long you been in the business? What's your business look like? And you kind of pick up little tips. Last time I met that tech guy, we were sitting right next to each other at the table. And the one lady actually thought we were brothers, which is a different story. But here's the pier. So, and then in the afternoon and evening, it's completely open. And so, but that's when a lot of the wholesalers and vendors, so if you're a top producer, a lot of the investment people are going to reach out to you and say, hey, do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to go to dinner? We have this excursion planned. Do you want to go with us? That's how I went on that sailing excursion. And I actually turned down 2 lunches and a dinner. I had to say no to 3 different people because we had our kids with us and I wanted to spend some time actually with our kids as well. The beach is just beautiful, right? So it's an awesome place. And then Baja Bay is over there. That's a water park. My wife has a video, you'll see it. Went down a 110-foot water slide yesterday, so that was a blast. My kids were laughing at me because my back was kind of skidded off the water a little bit. But I didn't die, so I'm still here. Primerica did not have to pay out any life insurance claims, so that was it was a win for everybody. And we're going through the numbers. Yes, at these general sessions, you hear from field speakers that are very inspiring, very encouraging. And then you should get little nuggets, right? The Primerica gives you a little notepad with a pen at your table waiting for you when you get right? So every little fine detail you can imagine is covered by the company. They don't leave anything out whatsoever. And then those free nights are awesome. The day you depart, which is actually today, you can you choose your flight. Now, by the way, whenever you book your flight, they're going to pay for you to fly out here. You can stay extra days if you want. So your flight's already covered. So I wish we would have stayed extra days this time. We didn't. Most of the time we'll fly out a day or two early. Now you just got to pay for your own room wherever you're going to stay at. But that's a really great opportunity too, to be able to basically have a couple extra days of experiencing a city or country maybe you haven't been to, or if you haven't experienced like this. So that's one of the big takeaways, is you have the ability to win trips like this twice a year, plus an investment trips, really free trips a year. And maybe you're not at a point right now where you're qualifying for those, but isn't it just awesome to know that you can be in a situation where 3 times a year you're getting a vacation paid for you? I think it's just incredible. So that's kind of the rundown of what an event like this looks like. Here's the rock I was talking about. There's kids right now jumping off of it. And then underneath that waterfall is an aquarium, actually. So it's a pretty cool spot. But I know you guys are probably getting jealous. So here's the takeaways. Time to get to work. It's time to get to work. Time to get to work. Time to get to work. More action. More action. More action. Primerica is a contact sport. We need to contact more people. We need to have a recruiting, not a recruiting focus, but we need to have a recruit, train, build leaders. We are a leadership factory. That's really what this thing's about. And then work with the people that are serious. And you know what? There's other people that are going to come into the business that maybe they're in a season in their life where they're not going to be an RVP. And we can't control that. We can only pour into them and invest in them. But you know what? They might be in a situation where, because of getting exposed to this business, they're able to learn fundamental financial principles that break that cycle of poverty in their family tree. Maybe they're in a situation where they're going to be able to, people look at me crazy talking to myself, maybe they're going to be in a situation where they become a better husband, a better father, a better mother, a better spouse, a better friend, a better daughter, a better sister, because they grow and develop as a person. Here's where we were playing football at yesterday. See, there's kids out here right now. So I was throwing some big touchdown passes with the ocean in the background. So that's worth winning a company trip right there. Oh, the Flamingo Bay's over here. I'll show you that real quick before I end this call. But needless to say, people, we can develop them to just be a better version of themselves. Not to change people, but to help them become a person they were destined to be. And ultimately, I think the biggest takeaway is this might be an opportunity. One, here's flamingos. Number one, I'll show you the flamingos. Pretty awesome. They're real. They're not fake. But you know what? I believe that there's people that will be exposed to our company and to this team of people, that because of the relationships we build with them, they'll become a better person, which is great. But the bigger mission is they'll probably, for the first time, get a true relationship with the Lord. They'll find Christ through their experience and their relationships with people in Primerica. And that's what I believe. I've seen it happen so many times. Some of you are watching this right now. That's you. That's your situation. I was definitely more convicted in my faith because of the leadership and examples I've seen in Primerica. And not every company, even like a big trip like this, we pray before every meal, you know, from the top level down. So it's just not many people can say that. So God first, family second, business third. We got to get the business going so we can take care of number two and ultimately point more people to Him. So I'm excited. Gave you a longer call than I planned on, but hopefully as I was walking around, you got to check out the resort a little bit. I'm going to be back in town later tonight, and I'll see all of you next week.